Hey, this is Mike Renville from the Joint Marketing Alliance. Tonight's training video, we're going to show you how to set up a simple sales funnel utilizing the Pure Leverage Autoresponder. Now, the steps involved in our little sales funnel is number one, we have to have a squeeze or landing page to capture the prospect name and email address. Number two, we then put up a thank you page that directs the prospect to check their email to double opt-in or confirm. Number three, an email is actually sent out to the prospect with the activation link to our webinar. So when they click that link, they've confirmed for a second time that they want to be with us, and then that link forwards them to the webinar sign up page. And then finally, we receive a confirmation email to let us know we have a new prospect added to our list. And upon completion of the setup, we're going to test our funnel by stepping through the opt-in process and confirming that each stage works as designed, and then that way you'll kind of get the flow of how this thing works. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is show you a squeeze page I've already set up. This one's kind of cool. It uses this new plugin. It actually has to work with WordPress, so I just set up basically a subdomain on a domain I have WordPress installed on, and just put the plugin in. It's pretty nifty. It was recommended by another JMA member, and works pretty cool. It's easy to use, easy to set up, and what it does is it actually knows where you're searching from, and it'll throw up a Google page, Google Earth page of your town. And I'm from Tacoma, and Google knows I'm here, so it put up Tacoma. And what's nice about this is up here in this header, this is geo-targeted as well, so you'll see the name of your city right in here. So this is my squeeze page. I can get this link out through email lists that I already have, or maybe through social media like LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever number of ways you want to use this squeeze page to get people to sign up to your webinar. So what they're going to do when they see this, if they're interested and I've gotten them to take action, they're going to put their name in here and their email address in here, click on this register for webinar button, and that's the first step of our funnel. Now, moving on, and we're going to come back and check that out when we're done here. We're going to go to our Pure Leverage back office, and let me go ahead and log out here for starters and log back in. So I'm assuming that you're going to use Pure Leverage as a autoresponder, and it's just a good all-around list builder too. I'm pretty new to it, so I like what I see so far. Very, very versatile tool, and you can it's a great tool that you can refer to others and get paid for doing that while you're building your list for your main opportunity, which would be for us the Joint Marketing Alliance Factor 7 suite of programs and services that we offer. So step number one, we go down here to the level 1 marketing suite, click on that. Then I want to go down here and click on Autoresponder. And then over here I want to go to campaigns, and I want to add a campaign. This comes with some built-in campaigns for marketing Pure Leverage itself, so we're gonna add our own custom campaign here. So we click on this, and it's just one form here we got to fill out, and then we actually build a form that you're going to see on the squeeze page. So what I want to do here is I want to give it a name. This name is going to be used in the follow-up message that's sent out to our new prospects. So you kind of want to be thinking in terms of what they're going to see. So let's call it How David Beat Goliath in Internet Marketing. And I already practiced that, hopefully, and I deleted it, so hopefully it won't show up again or tell me it already exists. But description, this is just for your own basis, but let's put in, like name and email capture funnel for Factor 7 JMA weekly call. Okay, down here, email settings, pretty simple. This is what the prospect's going to see. I don't want to just have like a username type deal in here. I want a more formal representation of my name, so I'm just going to type in my first and last name, Mike Renville. The from email address is what he or she is going to see as where this email came from. Notification email is where I want notification sent to, which is the same email address that I use. Unsubscribe text, activation text, these are things that they're going to see on the email that will allow them to unsubscribe, which is, that's the law in the United States. I'm sure it is in Canada and most of Europe and overseas too, in Asia now, in Australia, that you have to give people the ability to unsubscribe from your email messages that you're sending to them, which is another reason why we're using the double opt-in tonight, which we'll go through. We want to really make sure people want to be here. Activation text, same thing. This is the message you want for them to activate or confirm. We can just leave that alone. Company settings, we're going to call this the Factor 7 Joint Marketing Alliance. And then the website URL is actually the URL that we want to send them to after they double opt-in. So in that case, it's our webinar page. This is the next webinar that's coming up for us on Thursday, April 18, 2013. That probably will have passed by the time you see this, I'm sure. But anyway, we'll copy that down into here. And finally, yes, I want to be notified about new subscribers. If I don't check that, I'd have to log into my Pure Leverage back office here to see if anybody had opted in. But I'd rather be emailed about it so I get a kind of a heads up. And then click the add button. And that's it for that step. Now we have our campaign listed here. And in fact, what you can do here is, I mean, I've got another campaign set up already in here, but it's going to tell me how many subscribers I have, how many unsubscribers, how many people have checked out, and then how many are pending. And pending, that's not going to be very long, because usually once they've double confirmed through the process, they're in. So we can go back and edit by selecting this. We can delete the whole kit and caboodle by hitting the X. And then this guy here just deactivates the campaign if we want to put it to sleep for a while. So now what we need to do, we need a form for our squeeze page. So if I go back up here to the squeeze page, this part here I created with Pure Leverage. And we're going to do that right now. And then that code obviously is put into this squeeze page so this form can show up, people can see it, and then the form knows what to do with that info once they click on this button, which is pretty darn cool. So go back here. We want to go to forms, and actually there's a couple things we can do here real quick. If you have a page of your own where you want something a little bit slicker, you can go to the form wizard, and here they've got a variety of opt-in forms that are already made for you, and they kind of break them down into different categories. Here's some generic ones, here's some for business, health and fitness, different niches that you may be working in. Here's one that's wide. So, and these, I would have used one of these, but they didn't really fit with the squeeze page I had set up. So I'm just using their very generic one. And to do that, we just click on Create Form, and it's going to be the one that you see up here already, this guy. So going back to this, all we need to do, I can give it a name. I can leave that default name there, but it's kind of hard to know what that's all about. So I'm going to call this one training video. As you can see, it's not that smart. I've just practiced this already before I made the video. So this is the thank you page set up. So the thank you page actually has an audible voice when it comes up. And let me bring it into the picture here for a second. This is what you'll see when they click register for webinar. This page will pop up in front of them, telling them in a voice and textually here to check their email to confirm. So you got a choice here of whether you want to use English male voice, English female, Spanish female, Russian male, Russian female, Polish male, or a custom URL. Let's just go with the English female. And then if you click here, it'll bring up the page I just showed you, and you can make sure it's working. The already subscribed page, what this is for is if somebody comes across your squeeze page again and they're already on your list and they click that register for webinar, this is the page that you want to send them to. They're already on your list. They can't be added twice. So you want to send them somewhere. So I'm going to send them to my JMAP affiliate page for internet marketers. I'm going to copy that link right here, put it down in here, and that's that. I'm not going to use any ad tracking for this, but obviously what's cool is you can customize this to track different campaigns and see, you know, where you're using them. So you can put like a little tracking code that you make up that can tell you, oh, that one came from LinkedIn or Facebook, or that came from my website, whatever you want to do. And then down here, obviously, we're going to do the double opt-in. You could go this route, which I think is just a simple, you know, they click register for webinar and they're sent right to your webinar. We want to do a double opt-in just to make sure that they're not tire kickers and they want to really come and see your webinar. At least that's how I look at it. And it's a little bit extra safety too. You know, you definitely can't be accused of spamming anybody with a double opt-in set up in your sales funnel. Down here in the main fields, we've got basically two choices. We can use a first name or last name, or we can use full name and email. Now obviously we need the email address. You know, just a name is not, I mean, it would be helpful for us, at least we know who it was, but we want to be able to contact that person, and the only link we're going to have back to them is their email address. So I'm going to click both of these here just to be safe, and they're both checked. And then down here, submit text. This is what we want to see on our button. So if I go back up here, I can change the language on here, which is pretty cool. So, you know, it's a call to action. So I want these people to register for webinar, and we're done. Just hit create. There she goes, and there you can see it's listed right here. This is my training video form. So if I see if I can edit it again, I can go back into here. Here's all my stats actually, which is kind of cool. I can see, like this test one I did up here, it's already been displayed 62 times on a browser, which means that's mostly me probably just testing it and looking at it, obviously, because I haven't really put it out there yet. And then I've had a couple of test opt-ins where myself and another GMA member opted in for me to help me test it out, make sure it was working right. And it'll give you a percentage of your opt-in rate, and the type, obviously D for double opt-in. Opt-ins sent on this campaign were 2, so you can see how they got my percentage. 2 in a 62 is 3.23%. And then you get a bounce rate factor too, so you can see how effective your, you know, if your squeeze page is set up right, they should know what they're getting into when they hit the register button. So you shouldn't have a very high bounce rate, at least in theory. And then over here, let's see if I preview. This is what it's going to look like, and that's all correct, so that's good. And then what I want to do is I want to get the HTML code. So I click on this. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. I want to click on this one. And here's my HTML. And this is what I need to put on my squeeze page to make that form show up on the page and do its magic. So I would copy this, and then I go into this is the back office of my WordPress site that I have the squeeze page set up on, and this is the actual plugin right now. Like for example, real quick, you don't have to know any of this, but this is basically where my you know, text for my call to action was set up. And down here they have a little area where you can put your Autoresponder code in, and I already have it in here, but I just copied and pasted it right in, and you know, I'm good to go. I hit my update button up here, and bada bing, bada boom. I've got Autoresponder working on my page. So okay, so that's it, guys. I mean, I'm checking my instructions over here on the side, and I believe I have everything. We are now set up and ready to rock and roll. It's tested out. I'm going to pretend that I'm a prospect and type my name in here. I'm going to type in my email address, and then register for webinar.
Congratulations! You're almost done.
All right.
You have just been sent an email with a confirmation link. Please visit your email now and click that link to activate your subscription. Thank you.
I don't have my speakers hooked up, and I'm not sure if you could hear that through my headphones and microphone, but it was definitely an English female voice encouraging me to activate my subscription. So if I go into my email now and don't see it yet, here it is right here at the top. Okay, hello Mike Renville. Here's the actual email. Very simple. Join a Factor 7 cutting edge business opportunity. Click here to join. And obviously this message here I set up, if you remember back in the in the first form that we set up for the autoresponder under description, not description, but company name, this is where you could put that language in, and this is what shows up in your email. And obviously this is the lingo from the one I set up originally that I was showing you that was in there. So that's it. Very simple. You click here to join. So I just open it up in another browser, and there it is. That was the actual, this is the webinar that we had last week. So I didn't, we're using the old campaign that I set up. I guess I kind of boo-booed on that one. I should have changed the HTML code in my WordPress back office, but you can see that's going to do the same thing. It went to here. This would be a sign up page that would look like this. So they're in. They're going to register for our webinar. It's on Thursday, April 18th. They put their name, last name, email address, hit register now, and then you got them locked in. And then that they've registered for your webinar. At least they got to this page. So there you go. Everything's working on that. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at mikerenville@gmail.com, and you